This is how I knew. Oh, by the way, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the two-man front with your boy Be Easy. This is your boy Objectively Biased Sports, and we're ready to kick off this finale of the regular season. We're going to talk about the regular season of the NFL. We're going to talk about some college football, about how you guys feel about the college football playoff so far, and we're going to talk about our winners and losers, of course, as we always do, of the NFL regular season. We're going to be talking about who is the sleeper team entering in these NFL playoffs. Is there a team out there that we're not really talking about that could make a run, right? Also, we're going to talk about this, something that pretty much on the minds of a lot of Steeler fans. Is it time for a change in Pittsburgh? I will not answer that yet, and I'll explain why I'm not answering that question. Right. And also college football playoff. We have a Final Four. What are your thoughts so far? We're going to get our thoughts. We're going to get your thoughts so far on the 12-team playoff. And of course, we're going to be picking our wild card game, at least for the NFC. That picture's already set. AFC's already set. NFC is still yet to be complete because we got a real big game going on right now. But Fog, as I was saying, Jordan Love's out. No, I'm sorry. Christian Watson's out, and Jordan Love was hurt. So already the playoffs have been compromised before it even starts, which is kind of wild, which is crazy. What was I saying before we come on the air? What was I saying? Who are we talking about?
Oh, Zay Flowers, the Ravens, how they dodged a bullet.
Yeah, they did. They dodged a big bullet. And the reason why, I know what I was saying. The reason why I know they dodged the bullet, this is how I know. Is because he walked off the field and they didn't rule him out, which means if it was like a playoff game, he probably could have came back. That's kind of how I knew that he was going to be okay, because usually they rule you out like within like minutes they will, or they say doubtful, which pretty much means you're out.
Yeah,
right? So pretty much what that was, but yeah. But let's go ahead and start. Of course, you guys make sure you guys subscribe. Please subscribe to our YouTube page. That's pretty much growing. I really appreciate it. And our Facebook page. Also, subscribe to our personal pages, Objectively Biased Sports, and of course, BZ Sports and Entertainment. Really appreciate our pages are growing only because of you guys who are watching. Big news came down a couple hours ago. Jerrod Mayo, former head coach of the what's the team called? The Patriots. I'm sorry, they're so irrelevant. I forgot what they're called. New England Patriots. I'm like, what's this team called? This is your initial thoughts of this firing, first domino of coaching changes.
Oh man. Well, you called it at the beginning of the season, saying that if Patriots stink it up, that he's going to be gone. And I was hoping it wouldn't happen, but I was kind of with you on that. And so there's no shock here that he's gone. He really wasn't the guy that the Patriots wanted. That was kind of a Bill Belichick thing. I guess a parting gift. Let him coach. And I think now they're going to just do whatever they, I guess whatever they wanted to do initially. But it's disappointing because did anyone think that the Patriots were really going to be anything? Like like their season, the way it went, was it shocking to anybody? It shouldn't have been, especially to the Patriots. Shit, they weren't doing anything after Brady left.
No.
So I don't understand what the expectation was for this team outside of maybe he lost the locker room. If that's a reason they're firing him, but I mean, damn, they didn't even let anything cool off. They just said, you know what, like an hour after the game was done, bye.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all that this happened because of how the season started. And they start like 1-7. I forgot. I gotta look at their schedule real quick. I don't know what they started, but it was pretty bad. It's like it was not good the way they started. And then also I do remember him pretty much calling out his locker room, calling them soft, right?
Yeah.
And that it didn't land. I don't think it landed the way he thought it was going to land, and I think that hurt him a little bit in terms of how he wanted to motivate his team. And also I'm not gonna lie to you, Fog. I'll be 100% real with you. To me, and I knew you said it, and I was reminded of this online on my page, and you just said it right now. This was kind of a Bill Belichick handpicked guy, right? Bill Belichick wanted Jerrod Mayo to take over in order for him to step down, right? But it was kind of a random hire. Like, I didn't even hear about Jerrod Mayo. His name wasn't really in like not hiring circles, but like his name didn't really come up a lot, at least when it came to him like getting jobs. It always seemed kind of random to me. That's why I was like, this is not gonna last long unless he like has like a DeMeco Ryans type of like season, right, with a rookie quarterback. Then maybe it will like last. But like this just seemed like really random to me. I can't even say I'm not even sure he's a good or bad coach. I don't know, because they had the worst roster in football. The New England Patriots had the worst roster in football. Like worse than the Jags, worse than the Raiders, worse than the Giants, right? Worse than the Browns. Like they had some really, really bad players on this roster. And look, man, I hate to say it. I really do. I hate to say it. I hate to bring it up all the time. And because, people say I'm race baiting or whatever, but this is the hand that Black coaches are usually given. It just is. It's not the reality. This is the hand they're given, and they expect Black coaches to come in here and make chicken salad out of chicken shit. Right? I got that one right. What did I say?
Right. I forget what the hell you said last time.
I don't know what I said last time, but no, man, it's borderline just, I don't want to say negligent, but it's just like, it's almost like the Rooney Rule, but like almost enhanced. Let's hire this guy just to say we hired him and then get rid of him, right? Like it happens way too many times. Like happened to David Culley, happened to Lovie Smith, happened to plenty, and this I don't know. I didn't wish for this, but I just realized like when I saw things were unfolding, I was like, okay. And then also, I will say before I move on and give it back to you, if you have anything else to say, I will say that I do believe Drake May playing well played a part. And the reason why I say that is because the Patriots know they have somebody, and they want to get somebody in there that can actually help develop them, right? And I don't know I'm not sure if him and Mayo or getting along, or if there's chemistry there. I mean, but do you have anybody in mind who you feel like would fit this organization?
In all honesty, Vrabel.
That's what they're saying. Which I'm kind of surprised.
I would think that, yeah, I'd have to go with Vrabel. I think he's the guy. I think that's the guy that you'd bring in. He's got a track record. He's got a history. And what he did with Ryan Tannehill when he got Tannehill in Tennessee, I can see them taking Vrabel and saying, "Hey, do with May what you did with Tannehill."
Yeah. I mean, Vrabel's obviously gonna have to get an OC, right? Arthur, who's the OC? Who was the OC in Tennessee when Vrabel was there? It wasn't Arthur Smith, was it? Was it Arthur Smith?
Yeah, it was.
It was Arthur. Okay, it was. So I mean, I don't know. We'll get to him in a minute. I'll get to him in a minute. But like, I don't know if they have the roster. To bring in a guy like Arthur Smith, because there's no Derrick Henry behind Drake May. So, but yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be Vrabel as well. Before I heard that Vrabel, it seems like it's a done deal. Like it's almost as if Vrabel's already in the building.
Yeah,
like it's like this is something they just need to get Mayo off the books and bring Vrabel in. I thought it was gonna be like a Ben Johnson or a Brian Slowick of the Texans, or I don't know. I put someone else on my page as well. I forgot who I put, but yeah, I don't know. Cliff Kingsbury, right? I thought it was gonna be Cliff, but I don't know. Well, We'll see. I hope Jerrod gets back on his feet. He seems like a pretty good dude. Seems like a pretty good, at least a good defensive coordinator. And I need people to stop saying Brian Flores. Brian Flores is not getting another job in the National Football League. I don't know why his name keeps coming up. I don't know what's going on. He's not getting another job. He's literally suing his bosses. Like, he's not getting another head coaching job in this league, especially with a young quarterback. Hell no. All right, let's move on. Let's go ahead and move on. Yeah. Winners and losers, Fog, of the NFL regular season. You got 2 winners. I got 2 winners. You got 2 losers. You got 2 losers. Give me your first. Let's end on a high note. Give me your first loser.
Let's end on a high note. My first loser is going to be the whoever loses this game between Minnesota and Detroit. It's unfortunate, but the loser is going to wind up with a better record than 2 of the teams that are going to be in 3 of the teams. That are going to be in finishing in front of them at the 2, the 3, and the 4 spot because they didn't win their division. So whether it's the Lions or whether it's the Vikings, I feel like they kind of get. I mean, it sucks you were in a division that tough, but I'm looking at the whoever loses this game, they're to play the season the way they did, especially if it's Minnesota and what you were able to get out of Sam Darnold and this team. They're gonna be my loser of the year because it sucks to have gone this far, played this good, only to have you wind up with no single home game in the playoffs.
I'm sorry, who was your loser?
It's going to be either Minnesota or Detroit, whoever loses this game.
Yeah. That's okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, and I think what's his name? What's the receiver's name? Amon St. Brown. St. Brown today said or on his podcast or at some point he said that he said the NFL needs to reseed or something like that, where the best teams, like it should be from pretty much best record to worst record, pretty much. Like he wants to rank them, right? So that way the top 4 teams get a home game automatically, which I kind of agree with. I kind of agree. I do. I mean, it's going to be a shame that, like you said, that between these 2 teams playing right now, the Lions and Vikings, one of those teams are not going to get a home game.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy. Like they both have 14 wins, right, or 13 wins. Or so, it's kind of crazy. That's a good one. That was a good one. My first loser, honestly, we just talked about it a little bit off the air and a little bit on the air, are the Green Bay Packers, man. Like, dude, you may have potentially lost 2 of your best players. Like, I think Jordan Love's going to play, but they were working on his throwing arm, and I think he didn't come back to that game.
No, Malik Willis finished that game.
And then you lose arguably your top wide receiver in Christian Watson, and then you guys are going to Philly. Like, and this was a team. I think we did a segment of winners and losers or contenders and pretenders where I think both of us said the Packers were contenders.
Yeah,
we felt like both of them, but we both of us felt like that this team had a lot to gain. This team had a lot to offer in terms of explosive of their offense. Jordan Love being one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and we talked about the plethora of weapons they had. Josh Jacobs, but now you lose your 2 top players. It's interesting, man. Like, it was a lot of that yesterday too. Like, I mean, it was a lot. Like, Zay Flowers went down.
Yeah.
Obviously Christian Watson went down. Jordan Love went down. A few guys went down, man. So my biggest loser is definitely, or my first biggest loser is definitely Green Bay Packers, because it's almost like they've lost before they even got to Philly. I don't really stand a chance now, honestly. Full strength, I give him a shot, but if you don't have your guys full strength and Jordan Love has a bum arm, no, I think that's not gonna bode well for them at all. Second loser
is going to be Joe Burrow. The season that he had, look, hands down, when I put out my top 10 quarterback rankings, Joe Burrow is I know for a fact, just looking at all the numbers, he's going to finish number 1 this year. he's statistically been the best quarterback in the NFL. Him and Lamar Jackson, like right there. And he's not even going to sniff the MVP trophy this year. And he's definitely, they're not going to give him Offensive Player of the Year.
No.
So this guy had a season to talk about and literally played his team to a potential shot at getting into the playoffs. Had Kansas City not rested people and let Denver just dog walk them, they had a chance to make the playoffs. They had a chance to make the playoffs because Miami lost, and all they needed was Denver to lose. Denver loses, they wind up being in. So the season that Burrow put together to wind up not only missing the playoffs, but be the best quarterback in the NFL and not receive anything for it, that sucks.
Yeah. Joe, I wrote Joe Burrow's name down. He was going to be one of my losers because he's the best player on the non-playoff team. Arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he is, but arguably the best quarterback in the league. Statistically, he leads in yards, I believe touchdowns as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So
QBR, passer rating, he's tops in all of them.
He had an incredible year. And it's so funny because I think Joe Burrow at some point is going to win an MVP, but it's not going to be better than this season.
No.
That's the crazy
that's
part.
The silly part.
That's the silly part. Like, he's going to win an MVP this year. 1 year. At some point in his career, Joe Burrow is going to win an MVP, but it's not going to be his best season, which is wild to me. Which is just like Lamar Jackson. I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to win an MVP because I think they really, really, really want to give Josh Allen. I think the narrative has already been set, right? I think it's been set already. But he's not going to win it for his best statistical season as a quarterback, which is crazy to me. So, but I had other losers as well. I had some good losers. I had some really, really good losers. But honestly, Paul, I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is gonna sound kind of weird, right? My biggest loser is this last week of the season. It's us. Like, I hated this week because most of these games didn't matter.
Yep.
None of them mattered. like I saw Joe Milton out there. Like, why is he out there? Like, why am I watching this? Like, and then it's like I saw Frog, I didn't even realize Jimmy Garoppolo was still in the league. I was like, wow, this is like it's almost like it's almost like preseason. It felt like a preseason week to me.
Yeah.
This week. I mean, there were some games like this game right now. We have the game right now on TV right now between the Lions and Vikings. Yes, there's big implications for that. But outside of that, like, it was just seeding and guys getting hurt, and it was just Trey Lance. I didn't even realize he was still in the league. I forgot about Trey Lance. Like, I had no clue he still played football, right? Just like with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo's still in the league? I was like, wow, I was stunned. So, like, I don't know. This week, the loser for me is this week 18 or whatever this is. They're just super meaningless.
We didn't get to see history with Saquon Barkley.
That's another one. That's a great loser right there. Great loser. That. But you know what? I mean, hindsight's 2020, right? But these injuries.
Yeah.
Say Flowers went down, Christian Watson went down. I forgot. Somebody reminded me at the gym yesterday that, and I'm pretty sure you knew this. AJ Brown went down last week of the season last year.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't realize that. I forgot about that. I literally forgot about that. So I mean, it makes when I was told that, it made a lot of sense why they said, "Nah, Saquon, sit your ass down and be happy with 2,000 yards."
He went down at the last week of the season, and then when the playoff came, he didn't play, but they cleared him to play, but he chose not to play.
Oh yeah.
They cleared him to play, and he chose not to play. And I'm like, how do you not fire your coach after your best receiver says, "Yeah, I'm not playing"?
I literally forgot about that. That's crazy. That's insane. Wow. That's actually really, really insane. Okay. But yeah, I hated this week. I mean, I just didn't. This week was ridiculous. I didn't like it at all. All right, Paul. Who's your first winner? And then a good note.
First winner, I'm going to give 3 of them. Rookies are winners. When you look at what Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr. in the seasons that these young men had coming out on the teams that they played.
That's what makes it even more special, like impressive. They were on trash football team, especially Brian Thomas, who I wasn't a big fan of, right? I wasn't a huge fan of Brian Thomas, but I think you liked him. Did you like him?
I had him in my him and Xavier Worthy were 4 and 5 in my top 5 wide receivers coming out.
Yeah.
But he came on and had a great season. I think 80 receptions, over 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, I think, I don't think he'll lead the league, but I think he's going to be second or third in receptions and finish in the top 10 in yards. Like, that is insane. That's my offensive rookie of the year. I'm just saying.
Is that Brock Bowers?
Brock Bowers, the season that he had with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell throwing him the football, and the fact that he was in the top 5 in receptions and yards as a tight end, man. But yeah, these rookies, even Malik Neighbors, all these guys had phenomenal seasons this year. Those guys, the rookies, are the winners here.
Brock Bowers is third in receptions. Good Lord. I didn't realize until yesterday. Jamar Chase has 127 catches.
Oh, yeah.
He killed it this year. I mean, I knew he was my best receiver in the NFL to me is Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
To me. But I didn't realize, God damn, he killed it.
That's why I said the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year could be on the same team this year.
It really could. It really could be Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
I forgot the other rookie, Jaden Daniels. He took a Washington football team to the playoffs.
Oh wait, so you're taking Brock Bowers over Jaden Daniels as offensive?
I am. I'm taking Brock Bowers over Jaden Daniels because Jaden Daniels actually. At the beginning of the season, I said, watch out for Washington. This team could be sneaky good, especially with Kingsbury there to open things up and be that offensive coordinator, just focus on his job with a quarterback like Jaden Daniels. And I said, this team is going to be good. They could make the playoffs this year. And I picked them to sneak into the playoffs. Brock Bowers had nothing. There is no reason why Brock Bowers, outside of his talent and ability, should be in the top 5 in yards and receptions as a rookie this year. Not with what he had throwing on the ball.
Wow. I got to put that as a headline. I had to. It just hit me. I mean, I'm not mad at it. The only thing I wish Bowers had more are touchdowns.
Touchdowns, yeah.
I'm big on touchdowns. He only has 4. He has 4 touchdowns. He couldn't find.
He got one today, I think.
Oh, so he has 5 now.
Okay, yeah, he got one today.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's third in receptions. He's 7th in yards. So he's a beast. You know, Brian Thomas is 6th in yards. He's a rookie. I think he leads. He leads all rookies in receiving touchdowns. Malik Neighbors is just outside the top. He's in top 10. Brian Thomas, Brock Bowers, Malik Neighbors, 6, 7, 8 in receiving yards. So this was a really good class.
Yes,
really good class. It was a good class. I mean, looking back, just kind of reminiscing a little bit. This was a pretty good draft class, right? Of pass catchers, at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
And quarterbacks. Drake May and Jaden Daniels kind of lived up to it. You know what? Yeah. And for what it's worth, I think Caleb Williams had an okay year. I don't think he had a bad year. I think he had a regular rookie year. That's what Caleb Williams had on a bad football team, and his numbers kind of show that. It's not like he was throwing picks all over the place, right?
No.
Hit onto the ball a little too long, but he made some plays. All right. Your first winner. Who's your first winner? Sorry, you kind of went on a tangent.
The rookies.
The rookies. The rookies.
Yes.
I like that. I agree. I like that. The rookies. It was a good class. Honestly, Fog, I'm cooking something up right now on this guy. My guy is the last year's number one overall pick is Bryce Young. He's my winner. Because the way he's come back from being benched, I believe what, week 4 or week 5, something like that. I forget what it was. It wasn't long. It was long ago, but he wasn't starting too long at the beginning of the year. The way he was benched and the way he didn't allow the NFL, as they do so much, as the NFL loves to do, and by chewing up these young quarterbacks and spitting them out and just kind of killing their confidence. Bryce Young didn't let that happen, right? He didn't let that happen. He just worked. I don't know what he did. It seems like he was humbled. Seems like he was definitely working. He improved somehow. It's showing on the field. And look, the Panthers have something. I don't know what they have, but they have something cooking with Bryce Young. And honestly, if he could continue this tear he had into next year, I mean, it opens up so much for the Panthers in the future in terms of like what they can get, what they need. They need to get an offensive line for him, some more weapons on the outside, receiving weapons on the outside. Definitely need to work on that. I love Chuba. Let's get Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard. He's seemed like a really, really good back, right? You know, so they have that as a weapon. Bryce Young, man, like kudos to him. I'm one of the feel good stories. I don't know if he's eligible. Well, he wouldn't win it anyway. I think he's going to win it. I think Joe Burrow's going to win comeback player of the year, like by far. But yeah, if Bryce Young's eligible, he should be second, in my opinion, to win comeback player of the year because he was incredible this year.
I think what happened was is the playbook. Dave Canales runs a very detailed and tough playbook, and I think it was a matter of him getting comfortable with it. I don't think he was comfortable with it at the start because remember, Bryce Young didn't look bad at the end of last season. He looked like he was going to be okay. Yeah. They got the turnover. Canales comes in. And I just don't think. I think he just needed that time. And I think when he got benched, like you said, his humility and the way the type of individual he is, it meshed well. And they eventually, okay, we're going to give you this second chance. Let's see what happens. And Bryce Young did a phenomenal job. He did a phenomenal job. But I don't think it was Bryce Young and his talent or lack of talent. Or what his strengths and weaknesses are as far as reading the football field. I think it was all about getting in tune and understanding the playbook and how everything works, especially his reads and going through his progressions and finding his receivers and hitting them in the spots that he's got to hit them in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then with that all said, that's all true. Just the confidence grew. It's the confidence because like he did to me. He just didn't look confident in the pocket. I mean, there was, like, I think we had your brother on here, and like I think we were watching video of Bryce Young on the screen or something like that. And I remember Bryce Young like leaving his feet to throw the ball as if he couldn't see over the line. I said, Bryce, like you've been this tall your whole life, bro. Like it's not different than when you were in Alabama. Why are you leaving your feet? Like it's so weird. Like almost like all his mechanics were gone. Right? I was pretty confident when I saw him Bryce Young in Alabama that he was going to be pretty good in the NFL. I was really confident. That's why I was kind of surprised he looked the way he did in the NFL. Like I didn't think he was going to be like some showstopper, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised he was looking so bad, man. It was really bad. But yeah, I was gonna shout out Dave Canales. I'm gonna shout him out in my story as well that I'm writing up right now. Because he deserves some credit too for not giving up on Bryce Young. Because a lot of times these coaches love giving up on these young quarterbacks, and then these quarterbacks kind of just start faltering in the abyss of the NFL when it comes to like young quarterbacks, right? But shout out to Dave Canales for believing in Bryce Young. That's my first winner. Fog, who's your second winner?
My second winner is going to be. I had like two of them there. But I'm going to go with Andy Reid, man.
That's low hanging fruit.
I'm gonna go with Andy Reid as I cannot understand how the Chiefs managed to get through this season the way they did. It just doesn't make sense to me. They look a little better offensively, but just congrats to Andy Reid. He's a huge winner. This guy took this team. We were talking about it all year. We've been talking about it all year. We've been waiting for the wheels to fall off on this team somehow, some way. And Andy Reid has held that team together, and they get a playoff first round bye. Um, he's done a phenomenal job. I know he won't get it, but man, he should be in that talk for Coach of the Year.
No, I mean, I'm Andy Reid's a great coach, Hall of Fame coach. Been a Hall of Fame coach for a while, honestly. I mean, we can make the argument that yes, Patrick Mahomes kind of put him over that hump, but I feel like before he even got to Philly, or I'm sorry, before he even got to Kansas City, he was still a Hall of Fame coach, right? So I think Mahomes just enhanced what he's doing, what he's able to do. Like I think Mahomes really allowed Andy Reid to be as creative as we knew he could become, right? As he could be, right? He couldn't do that with McNabb, couldn't do it with Vic, couldn't do it with Alex Smith. He couldn't do it with whoever else the quarterbacks. But Mahomes allows Andy Reid to really, really pretty much show off his whole arsenal of offensive prowess, right? It's unbelievable what he does. So I mean that's a low hanging fruit winner, but I'll tell you, but yeah, I mean I can't be mad at that at all. My winner is another coach too. It's a team. Well, winner is a coach in a team. It's a first year coach. My winner is Jim Harbaugh, who I feel like isn't getting talked about enough about the turnaround he's made or he has done in Los Angeles for the Chargers.
Yeah.
They would have been a playoff team last year. I think they won like 5-6 games last year, I believe. And Jim Harbaugh, as he is wont to do, he's a culture creator, man. He changes block. He does. Like he is known for that. I mean, that's why I was just like, I'm so surprised the Bears did not make this move. Like, this is a guy that was literally next door to you in Michigan.
And he played in Chicago.
He played in Chicago. Like he was the quarterback for your franchise. I don't know what the conversations were. I know there was conversations between him and the Vikings and the Bears, and oh my gosh! And you let him go to the West Coast, get back to the West Coast.
Yep.
Wow! But yeah, he's made what a hell of a turnaround for that team. Really happy for him as well. I mean, the guy just wins. He knows how to win. He knows how to win. Won a national championship in Michigan. Had a lot of success in San Francisco and the Bay. Now he's in SoCal and having success. And he has a young quarterback who he's going to grow old with. Who honestly, I mean, the AFC. I mean, look, honestly, Mahomes is great. Mahomes and Andy Reid are great, and they're going to be around for a long time. But I'm telling you right now, I definitely will say this. I think I think Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert are going to make a lot of noise in the next 3 or 4 years, right? A lot of noise in the next 3 or 4 years. So, which honestly brings us to our next topic. Sleepers. Our sleepers. Fog. Every single year, there is a team, usually every year, not all the time. Oh, not that yet. Usually there's a team that kind of surprises us in the postseason every other year. The Giants did it one year. I think the Rams did it a few years ago when they came from the wild card. I can't think of another team. Giants did it a couple times, actually. The Packers did it back in 2010 when they were a wild card team and they won in 2010. Paul, who is this year's sleeper? Who's a team we're not talking about enough right now? Entering the playoffs.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the LA Rams.
No.
I'm going to say the LA Rams. I don't think all the talk about the Vikings, about the Lions, about the Eagles. It would have been about the Packers, except now the unfortunate injury situation that Jaden Reed. That's something to talk about. How he fell from grace from one half of the season to the next. But I think the Rams. Here's a guy that I think you could talk about, Coach of the Year. What McVay has done with the Rams, and again,
Michael,
this
yeah,
team,
yeah.
this team has been there before with
Mm-hmm.
this quarterback, and they've won it. So this is going to be that's the one team that I think nobody's talking enough about, that they can mess around and actually pull it off. And again, if they don't have to go outdoors, if it winds up being in Minnesota or Detroit, let's say, I mean, they're built for that.
So you got the Chargers?
No, the Rams.
Oh, Rams. Sorry, the Rams. Sorry, my bad. They are built. They are built for that. What think about the Rams? They're very, very used to playing like this underdog role or on the road. And McVay, who's my coach of the year, who I think Sean McVay is the coach of the year. I think that he's somebody that that for some reason doesn't get a lot of props. Maybe he does. Maybe I don't hear about it enough. I don't really know. But I feel like he doesn't get a lot of props in terms of just how good he is as a head coach.
Yeah.
How good he is. Like he's like almost like the Tomlin of the NFC, in my opinion. He's a floor raiser, right? Like I didn't think this Rams team was going to be very good at all. Honestly, and they started out 1-4, right? And now I believe they ended up 11-6, right? Which is incredible, an incredible run. But it's funny you picked that LA team, because I'm going to choose the other LA team. Like I'm going to choose the Chargers because of Harbaugh. That's why I'm choosing the Chargers. I'm choosing the Chargers because of Jim Harbaugh and what he's done in the postseason, his track record in the postseason, and how he's the ultimate kind of floor raiser. Because I feel like this Chargers team is not very talented, especially offensively. I mean, Justin Herbert is there. Ladd McConkey is pretty good. That's another rookie wide receiver, Ladd McConkey, who's really killing it. But outside of that, I mean, is J.K. Dobbins is okay. Lion is okay. I love Joe Alt, but this is another ultimate floor raising job by Jim Harbaugh. Defensively, they're pretty stout. I think so. Defensively, they're pretty good. I think that's what's going to help.
Didn't they have I think they have top 5 defense this year. I think they're number one in least amount of points allowed. They had a season.
That's why I think that this is a team, the Chargers. Like if we're talking about a team that can knock off anybody in the postseason, it's the Chargers. And I think the Rams are a team. I like the Rams. The Rams are going to be my other team, right? Both LA teams, I really feel like can knock off anybody on their respective sides of the bracket. Like I think the Chargers can knock off the Chiefs. The Chargers can knock off the Ravens. I think the Rams can knock off. Honestly, the NFC is wide open to me. I don't know who the hell's coming out of the NFC. I have no idea. Like even the teams playing right now, the Vikings and Lions, I don't really trust them that much. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't trust either one of those teams. I trust the Lions more than the Vikings, but either one of those teams, like I feel like could win. So like I think these are my sleepers as well. I think we got 2 good ones. Because I was gonna pick the Rams as well. But my second team was the Chargers. So I mean I think that both LA teams have a shot.
Listen, I like the Chargers, and I like the matchup against Houston, to be honest with you.
And you know what, Fogg? You know what? It brings me to something I didn't want to talk about. That topic right there brings me to this. Because honestly, it's why I wanted to win that game last night so freaking bad. Because I wanted to play the Texans too. I wanted to go to Houston. I felt we had a better chance. Houston's kind of. I'm for whatever reason, I'm surprised Houston's in the postseason. I don't know why. I'm surprised they are.
I think they're surprised too.
I don't know how they made it. I mean, the AFC South is such a joke of a conference, and that's why Ron St. Brown said what he said. Like, I don't know what was the record of the Texans. So like 10-7, 9-8. I mean, I don't even know what the record was. But anyways, this is around the point.
I think they were 9-8. Yeah.
Basically a 500 team. But yeah. So, all right, folks. I'm not answering this question because I don't answer because I don't want to answer with emotion. Right. I'm still thinking about this. But folks, in your humble opinion, after everything that's transpired this year with Pittsburgh, the literal roller coaster year we've had, right? Is it time for a change in Pittsburgh, barring whatever happens in the post? We don't know what's going to happen, but it's time for a change in Pittsburgh.
Man, I'm going to say no. And I'm going to say no. And I think the reason I'm saying no is because I didn't think the Steelers were going to compete this year.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't. I didn't think the Steelers were going to, be there and be that team. So I think everything they did, it sucks that they lost the last 4 games in a row. But I think they overachieved. I think they overachieved, and they still this is a team that unfortunately has missed at the quarterback position after Ben left, and the fact that he still gets these guys up to play and they lay it all out there for him. I mean, look at the season Russell Wilson. He's done, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything left there, much left for Russ at all. And yet you were still able to get what you got out of him. I don't think you move a coach like that or move off from a coach like that. I think that'd be a bad decision at this point, because it's not like I said, they've turned over players. And he's still finding ways to win and finding ways to get them into the playoffs and find them ways to make them competitive year in and year out. I think if they had a better team, personnel wise, I think they'd be better. Also, not for nothing, I think the coaching staff. I think he may have to take a look in the mirror and try to find somebody innovative on the offensive side of the ball. To really maximize whatever potential they do have on that team offensively.
Well, that was a good topic. Time to move on.
For the first time, Brian's at a loss for words for his Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'll just say this because I'm still processing a lot of things. I'll just say this, man. I'll say this to everybody out there, right? Be grateful you have a quarterback if you have a quarterback in your football team. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that can be understated. What a quarterback can do for your entire football team, right? Like, I don't think that could be like, we had a quarterback for 15 years. And when you have a quarterback, you can build around it. You don't have to worry. And when you have a franchise quarterback, like, it matters. Like, it just does. Like this is why I get mad at like Cowboy fans sometimes who are tired of Dak Prescott. Please trade Dak Prescott to us. Like what do you want? Like, what do you want for Dak Prescott? You want a chicken sandwich? Because I promise you, Dallas Cowboy fans will trade him for anything. As bad as bro, are you kidding me? Like, what do you want? Like, I just be great. I told my homeboy, look, he's a Chargers fan. Be grateful you have a quarterback. Even that, who was the coach for the Chargers last year? Brandon Staley?
Yeah, Brandon Staley was there last year.
I told my homeboy, dog. He said he hated Brandon Staley so much. I said, it's okay, man. You have a quarterback. You're fine. You're fine. You're gonna get a coach like Harbaugh, whoever is gonna come in. You're gonna be fine. Like you have a guy in place already. Like
Yeah.
it's
You
just
don't have to find that guy.
you don't have to find that guy. It's over for the next
And
10, 12, 13 years.
And the bad
right?
part about it is where the Steelers, with them, the way they keep on winning, you either going to have to trade up to get a quarterback, or you're going to have to find a diamond in the rough.
And that's kind of look. It's funny you say that because like it's kind of the dilemma right now, right?
Yeah.
And also it's the only reason why we even landed Kenny Pickett. Like, because we had Kenny Pickett on like it was like pick 20, something like that.
Yeah.
It was like 20 or 21 or so, I forget. It wasn't like it was a late pick, right? It was not. It was a late pick. So yeah, I it's just be grateful. Like Fog, you got Jalen Hurts. I know he can get on your nerves sometimes. I get it. You got a quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Be grateful for that. Like, and also I will say this. I'm not gonna answer this question yet. I will say this. George Pickens has got to go, man. I'm sorry. He's got to go. He's got to get out. Like I want like if we get rid of him and he grows and matures somewhere else, good for him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Good for him. But he's just somebody not worth the trouble. He's not somebody worth the locker room drama. He's not somebody that's worth just the outburst. He's not good enough for that. I'm sorry, he's not good enough. Like I've already kind of analyzed who he was as a football player. Great 50-50 guy, great 9-route guy, average hands, as we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, and just a whole drama queen, man. Like, get out of here, man. Like, I just, it's not. I'm over it. I'm over George Pickens. I really am. I'm not even. He's not somebody who is not even worth the trouble of even like trying to like. And I say that because
it's a shame because he is the good talent.
He's a great talent, but there's a reason why teams stayed away from him in the draft.
Yeah.
The reason why he fell where he fell. What was he like the fourth? Like, it was a late round. It's a late round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason why a 5-star talent like that dropped in the second or third day of the draft.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. The guy, and then I saw one graphic before we move on. I saw one graphic on him while he was at Georgia. He either didn't finish the season because of injury, or he didn't finish the season because he got suspended. Like, he never finished a season at Georgia.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, these guys all over the place, man. I like no. He's just it's not worth it. That's why I hope we don't pay him at all. I don't want to get. He should not get paid. No, not by us at least. Not by us. All right, moving forward. Talk a little college football real quick. A little college football. Great games, kind of. For the quarterfinal, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed college football playoff. We got the Final Four: Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, Texas. That's your semifinal. So far, folks. So far, as this 12-team playoff experiment is unfolding, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I've enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie, I've enjoyed it. I think obviously there's things that they're gonna have to tweak, and we'll see what they do, if they even tweak anything. But it's lived up to everything that I said it was going to be. And right now, two of the four best teams all season are unfortunately on one side of the bracket in Ohio State and Texas. Georgia injuries. You can't go into a playoff game and not have your starting quarterback. And then I think on top of that, I think they were missing 4 starters as well. So that was a little rough for them. But all in all, I've enjoyed it. But the blowouts, they've been there. They've been there. I think the only one that didn't happen where I was like, huh. But I said I could see that coming when we rolled out talking about where Texas and Arizona State. Arizona State was hot, and Texas and Clemson were always an up and down team. Oh, looks like we lost B. What the hell? Well, since we lost him, we'll sit here and wait to get him back. But I've enjoyed the college football playoff. I think, like I said, they're going to have some tweaks in it. They're going to have to fix some things there. As soon as Brian gets back, hopefully he fixes his internet and gets off of I don't know, his dial-up already out there on the West Coast. But I'm interested to. I think the games this weekend, next Thursday, I should say, coming up. Ohio State looks like a team that is on a mission. They Ryan Day, whatever happened in that Michigan game, it lit a fire under his ass, and they are just Ohio State looks like they are the team to beat, and it's not a matter of them being overrated. They get a good matchup with Texas because look, not for nothing, I'm a Longhorns fan. I'm hoping, I'm rooting for Texas, but if Texas shouldn't have even been this far in with that law. They got lucky beating Arizona State. Got lucky beating Arizona State. Arizona State played better than them. Arizona State should have been the team that was in there playing against Ohio State. Shouldn't have been Texas. They're lucky to get there. I think the only saving grace that the Longhorns do have is that they're actually going to be playing at home. I think it's Cotton Bowl that they're going to be playing at. So that's the only saving grace for Texas, that they're going to have. Their fans are going to be out there and ready to go. But I think Ohio State is just too much. And then on the other side of the bracket, you got Notre Dame and Penn State. Penn State had a nice cupcake walk. They got SMU. They got Boise State. Boise State should not have been a fourth-ranked team, should not have received a bye week. And Penn State has probably one of the better defenses going out. Hold on one second. Brian just messaged me. Oh, he lost power. So I'm going to close the show by myself. So where was I? Oh, Penn State. Penn State's defense. Penn State's defense has been fantastic all season. They've played phenomenal football on that side of the ball. And I think Penn State's defense could be their saving grace, because the one thing that Notre Dame does and does well is run the ball. The one thing Penn State does well is defend against the run. I think the toughest part for Penn State to overcome and really win is their quarterback. I don't believe in Drew Aller at all. There's a reason why he's got to come back another year and not go out in the draft. I don't think he's ready for I know he's not ready for the NFL, but I just think he's just an okay college quarterback. So my expectations here is going to be, you're going to see Notre Dame, like Brian had picked at the beginning of this playoff. He took Notre Dame to go and win it all. I think you're going to see a Ohio State Notre Dame final. I think that'd be a fantastic finals, but I don't think Notre Dame is going to have the defense to stop Ohio State, and I'm picking Ohio State to win this all. Boom. There you have it. And I guess I'm going to sign off for the two-man front podcast and my man Be Easy, because his power is done. We'll eventually find out whether or not he's going to give us what his thoughts are on Mike Tomlin, because I thought the topic was interesting about Tomlin saying that, hey, is it time for a change? And he's refusing to answer because of his emotions, since he's a bitter Steelers fan right now. But thank you guys for watching. As for my co-host, Brian Emajuru from Be Easy Sports, and myself, The Fog from Objectively Biased Sports, thank you for tuning in to the Two-Man Front podcast. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of that game tonight between the Lions and the Vikings, and we will see you same time next week.